First of all, I've never seen an eagle feather tied to a microphone, but modern technology, what can I say? Oh, negativos is victory todos e mega moage, porque tu não creio. O dan he wala pensi. So come on, todos. First of all, I'm just going to take a little tobacco in my hand. My father taught me that when I speak anywhere, to always offer my tobacco before I speak. And I usually do that when I put my tobacco outside. I didn't do that, so I'm just going to hold this tobacco in my hand as I speak. And the prayer that I always make is, the prayer that I always make before I speak is, I ask the Creator to put the words in my mouth that these people need to hear, or that I may need to hear at the time. And so sometimes people ask me, what are you going to talk about? Well, I don't know. My spirit name is Thunderbird, Turtle Woman. I have other spirit names that I only share in ceremony. And there's a reason for that. I'm a mother. I have 7 children. And I've been following this path, this traditional path, for quite a number of years, going back to my traditional spiritual ways. It's been about 28 years or so. When I was growing up, as a little girl, my daughter's age, maybe younger, in the East where I come from, almost all our culture was lost. It's been about 500 years European contact, where our brothers and sisters out west, it's maybe been not quite 200. So we lost a lot of our culture. We lost our songs, our dances, our ceremonies. We were taken to residential schools where we were punished for speaking our language. We almost totally assimilated into another culture that was not our own. So as a little girl, I told my dad my language. Dad, I know someplace that there's Indian people that still pray in the old way. And we didn't have any television. And even later, all we saw on television was the John Wayne movies. We didn't have to write history books. I was just a little girl. I was about 5 years old saying this to my dad. So 28 years ago, I went to my first ceremony in Manitoulin, Ontario, with the Anishinaabe people. And something happened there in that ceremony that just... my brother's spirit, I was 6 years old when he passed away. He only lived for an hour. And his spirit came to me in that ceremony. I didn't know what to expect. I was wearing jeans. I didn't even know you're supposed to wear a dress at this ceremony. I couldn't stop crying, first of all, because it was true what I had said since I was a little girl, that yes, there are people that still pray in the old way. When I went to the Mohawk people and saw Native people drumming for the first time, I couldn't stop crying, because this is what my spirit was missing. All those years growing up, we never had that. So believe me, I came back home, determined we're going to get it back. So of course it's not written in the books. Some elders had the knowledge, but it was hidden. So we had to bring it out. And we went to fast. We went to fast, and we gave up food and water. We gave up part of our suffering. And we asked the Creator, teach us our ways again. And slowly it started to come back. Now when you go to our communities, there's sweat lodges everywhere. Connie has been there. She's been to some of our ceremonies. And so the reason for that is that you can cut a person's hair, you can force them not to speak their language, or whatever. But you cannot kill a spirit. I see it like the wolf. I see our people almost like the wolf. If you took a wolf out of the wild and you put him in a cage in a zoo, and you hand-fed that wolf every day, maybe another generation, cubs are born and they grow up, and maybe another generation, doesn't matter how many. And these wolves don't know how to hunt because they've never been taught to be hand-fed in a cage. After a while, maybe 3-4 generations, you open up those cages and let those full-grown wolves out into the wild. What's going to happen? Those wolves are going to get very hungry and very weak because nobody's taught them how to hunt. And because they're used to being hand-fed. But then all of a sudden they get so hungry and so weak that their spirit, their instinct as a wolf kicks in. and they go out and they know how to hunt and they know how to survive. So this is what happened to our people. We got so hungry for spirituality. We got so hungry to know who we are. And it's still in the process. A lot of our people are still relearning our ways of who we really are. Because a long time ago, thousands of years ago, there was no such thing as suicide. We didn't have no jails. We didn't have no mental institutions and all those things, you know. Everything was abundant. Everything was there. So I feel that it's our spirits. Like tonight, everybody came here is searching for something. And everyone that's here is here for a reason. We're all meant to be here tonight. I'm on my way to a concert in South Dakota, Ogallala, South Dakota. It's a Leonard Peltier concert. Of course, I have no money to give anybody, and I didn't have no money. I said, I wonder how I'm going to get there. But it always turns out the way it's supposed to. And Connie called me and asked me to speak over here. I said, yes, that'll help you to get there and back. And then,
thanks to CMAC.
Yes, and then I picked up Arnie, and then on the way here, I'm thinking, gee, I wonder if my little girl and I are driving together, right? Gee, I don't know if I have enough time to get there, you know, for the 26th. I said, well, if I'm meant to go, create or provide somebody to get us there somehow. All of a sudden, there's Josh. Hey, they said Josh wants to go to South Dakota. There you go.
Oh, Josh.
So I truly believe that everything happens for a reason, and that it's our spirits that guide us. To learn to listen to your spirit. When you're walking and something all of a sudden, just have that feeling. No, don't, whatever, stop. You listen to that. It's our spirit trying to talk to us. If there's a spirit tapping on our shoulders, anybody, and you continue to ignore it, after a while it's going to stop. It's little waves. They come in our dreams. They come in feelings. That's our spirit. We can't see it, but they're there. That's what guides us. And that's the one thing that's going to bind us together again. When we talk about prophecy, first of all, I guess I'd like to mention the white buffalo. The white buffalo that was born in Janesville, Wisconsin, miracle. I traveled to many tribes, and I've lived with many tribes, traveled all over. And basically, a lot of people had prophesied, a lot of tribes had prophesied this white buffalo was going to be born. And one of the things that I heard was, when this white buffalo was born, that the four races were going to come together. And when they would come together, it would be a time to start to forgive one another as the races of man. Because we are all on that medicine wheel together. All the four races, all the four colors of man. We all have something to share. We all have something to give. And so I was there. And again, I thought I was just going to a gathering. This elder woman called me, hey, you want to come with us to a gathering? She said, I've got the vehicle, I've got the money to pay for the gas, food, and everything. I just need a driver. I said, sure. She said, you can even bring your kids. So I went. It was meant for us to be there. My little girl received, she was given another spirit name over there. And so it was really beautiful. I witnessed that happen when all the Indigenous people from all the four races came together, and our elders were there. So that has happened. Another prophecy, we are told, is that there's going to come a time that there's going to be like a spider web throughout Turtle Island. And through this spider web, that people will communicate, talk to each other. So we see that happening. We were told through prophecy, this is kind of a hard one, but it's true. It's happening. It's starting to happen already. We are told that there's going to come a time that man will go to the place where he stores food, and the food will stink. Well, when there's no more electricity. And there's already starting to be a shortage of electricity. This prophecy didn't come out from our tribe, but I've heard this prophecy, that there will come a time that an eagle will land on the moon. Of course, how could our people have known what that would mean, you know, an eagle landing on the moon? But it happened. When the spaceship landed on the moon, the eagle, they sent word back, the eagle has landed. So that has happened. We are told that there's going to come a time that people will have to buy water. Even as a little girl, I could not imagine that. We already do. And all these prophecies, the elders don't mean to scare us with these prophecies, but they tell us, no matter what happens, keep up with the ceremonies. Continue to pray. I really believe in prayer. I believe in prayer in all ways, in whichever way people pray. Because in the medicine wheel, there are 4 colors of man. It's red, white, black, and yellow. Everyone has something to share. Everyone has a gift on their medicine wheel. For example, the yellow race, their natural gift or element on that medicine wheel is the gift of air. And if you look at where yellow people come from, Tibetan monks, and they can hold their breaths for long periods of time. They have deep breathing. They know how to fly the major kites, whatever. They build the best kites in the world because that's their gift, is the air and the wind. That's the base of their spirituality, is air. And the black race on that medicine wheel, their natural gift or element on that medicine wheel is the gift of water. And if you look at Africa, where black people originated, it's a very dry desert area. So they have to know how to conserve that water, how to build the major dams, the irrigation systems. And I'm told that a lot of their original ceremonies there are based on water, high regard for the water. The white race on the medicine wheel, their natural gift or element on the medicine wheel is the gift of fire. And if you look at all modern technology, airplanes and computers, and even what I'm holding in my hand today, on this hand, on the right hand, well, everything starts with electricity, and it's fire. It starts with fire. I tell people you wouldn't see a lot of native people building spaceships. First of all, because it's not our gift, and second of all, we don't have enough money to build a spaceship. And then, on the medicine wheel, our race, the red race, we have the natural gift and element and responsibility of Earth. We are closer to Earth. We have our sweat lodges. Well, usually with moccasin feet. I lost one of my moccasins. I told Connie, I think I'm trying to play Indian Cinderella. But the plant medicines, we offer our tobacco before we pick that medicine. Like Grandfather just spoke about, we have to ask that permission. We just don't take. We have to give and receive to keep that circle going. So on that medicine wheel, everybody's on that medicine wheel together. And all those gifts of air, water, fire, and earth. We cannot survive without those 4 elements. So we can come together and bring our gifts and respect each other's differences. Some people have black hair, blonde hair, some are big, tall, small, whatever. Respect everyone. And the way each person believes. I cannot go up to a person and tell that person, well, God hears me, your Creator hears me, but He doesn't hear your prayers. I cannot, I have no right to say that to anyone. So we are told to respect. That's the basic teaching of the medicine wheel. So when the white buffalo was born and went there, those things were kind of brought back again and talked about. Also for us, this eagle is a teacher. This eagle teaches us about balance. The eagle has 2 wings. You cannot fly on one wing. Where I come from in a lot of tribes, we respect the balance between the male and the female. They have differing roles, but they are both important. They are needed. Both male and female are needed for that balance. So that is why, especially now, we are told that one time women did not need to go to a sweat lodge because they were already purified each month. But now, because the connection to Mother Earth has been lost, the women are starting to pray that way too. We stand behind the men. We pray with the men for that balance, the male and the female balance. And that strength is there because they both can have something to offer. Just like the East and the West. Tonight, we have the East and the West here. So we have that balance. So I'm going to sing a song about the eagle that teaches us about that balance. The balance of male and female. The balance of trying to balance your life. We are told, the eagle teaches us. If you spend all your time at work and not enough at home or play, whatever, look at this, where you're going to get off balance. The other way around. You spend too much time just playing at home, whatever, not working, well, you get off balance. So you try to maintain that balance. For myself, I work on repatriation. I work on NAGPRA law, Native American Grave Protection Repatriation Act law. And so so does Arnie. And it's all volunteer work. It comes from our spirit. Sometimes we don't know how we're going to get to a meeting or whatever. We just get there. So anyway, I have to strike that balance between the work that I do for the ancestors and my children. And the spiritual work that I do sweats. And I do talks forever. If I neglect my children, I'm going to see that imbalance, and I'm going to feel it, because they're going to feel it. Then if I spend too much time at home and not doing any of the other spiritual work that I need to do out there, I again feel an imbalance. So I'm going to sing that song. I have a song too for the eagle. We have a song called the East for the Eagle. So anyway, I have to strike that balance between the work that I do for the ancestors and my children. And the spiritual work that I do sweats. And I do talks forever. If I neglect my children, I'm going to see that imbalance, and I'm going to feel it, because they're going to feel it. Then if I spend too much time at home and not doing any of the other spiritual work that I need to do out there, I again feel an imbalance. So I'm going to sing that song. I have a song too for the eagle. We have a song called the East for the Eagle. Usually we don't use a big drum like this. I think even at West don't even use it. The women don't even use a hand drum, because when the men drum, what they're doing, the drum is female, they're honoring the women. But at home we're told we can use the ones, the small ones like this. But tonight when our elder grandpa asked me to use this drum, it wasn't an honor. So. This song, it thanks the spirit of the eagle for circling above us, to remind us to sit in that circle, because when we sit in that circle, it reminds us that no one is any better and no one is any less. That's why we do our ceremonies in a circle. We are all equal. And that eagle, to remind us, the eagle flies highest to the Creator. There's no barrier between the eagle and the Creator, so we believe it's the eagle that carries the messages to the Creator. You know, I can go into another long story about the eagle, but it could take a long time. And when Connie mentioned the storyteller, I'm not really a storyteller per se. I share spiritual stories, actual spiritual experiences that happen. But when I do that, I'm teaching. So believe me, you give me a cup of talking juice, coffee, and you sit across the table from me, you're going to hear spiritual stories. Just one more story, you heard that before I come. And laughter, again, that laughter. That eagle teaches us the balance of seriousness and laughter. No matter how hard things are in life, because life is hard enough as it is, we have to balance it with that laughter. In our way, even at our wakes, people will laugh, because you'll find that laughter and talking, you know, whatever, because it balances out that seriousness. And no matter how serious a ceremony is sometimes, how serious an occasion, something will happen that makes everybody laugh. So. chapel or something. There's an acknowledgement. Oh, thank you. And my daughter's name, by the way, is Tanisha Sky Begunchich. Begunchich means little feather. You know, when I went to White Buffalo, they didn't know her English name or her Indian name, nothing. I mean, they didn't know her, and they called us up that morning. And they said there was an elder that had a dream about an eagle the night before. And Arnie was there at the time. They said, we want your little girl to come over here. They said the eagle spoke to this elder and told them that nothing can start here first without the little girl from the east. So they put her in the center, and they started singing some songs. And the elder held his pipe, and the elder's wife turned her in the 4 directions and said it and was praying. And I didn't know it at the time because I was looking at her, and she went over and gave Arnie a hug. She was nervous. She was only 4 years old. And anyway, I didn't know it at the time, but the White Buffalo was turning with her in each direction. It was behind us. I was watching her. And one day, she prayed for Mother Earth. The White Buffalo lay down on the earth. And the name that they gave her is, I'm not sure if I say it right, but Uyaka Chikawani, which means little feather woman. So she was holding this eagle feather, and I thought I'd share that story. They also told me, I was getting ready to leave, they said, your little girl already knows about ceremony. They said, listen to her, she'll bring you messages. And that has happened so many times that she would just read my mind. She'd know what I was thinking. And I was very fortunate when I was growing up that my dad saw that gift in me. I would dream things before they would happen. I would know things before they would happen. And I would tell my dad. The neighborhood women kind of got scared because they had got so assimilated. But my dad would tell me, it's a gift. It's a gift. He would always tell me that. So I'm really thankful that my dad brought me up in that way. And that gift still follows me. That gift of knowing that if I'm thousands of miles away from my children, I will know when I have to call home. It gives me that time to pray. Some people say, it's no good to know something that's going to happen if you can't do anything about it. An elder told me, it gives you that time to pray. Prayer is very strong. With us, we use that tobacco, just a little pinch. Just a little pinch. And wherever you are, you can pray. We put tobacco before we're going to go on a trip to pray for a safe trip. And believe me, they watch over us as we're traveling. To honor them, to know that someone is watching over us. Okay, I'm going to hand this to Arnie before he falls asleep. He's used to me. But thank you very much. And I'm really happy to be here tonight. And I hope I'll see you all again.